To introduce to you in this episode, I'm going to ask her a really cool question. The question I'm asking is, do you want to be a billionaire? Let's find out her answer in this episode.
We have one chance on earth, Jeremy Newsom. One chance.
One.
You have a very compelling, very strong mission ahead of you. And it's big. It's global. Of all the things, cleaning out the oceans, saving the baby seals, ending poverty and all the amazing causes that you could stand for. Why did you pick that?
I picked this one because I know that you're going to do all the other ones. So I went with the only one you didn't do.
I hadn't thought of that one.
Yeah.
so it's on the list.
In full transparency, I knew it was the one that I had the best shot at as far as what I hold most dear. When I go to sleep at night and I know the challenges and the struggles that humanity faces, I think poverty, racism, food and supply chain management, where people just are starving for no reason in so many countries. I think a lot of those big struggles, and baby seals, really kind of come down to some version of education. What we are taught, how we are taught it, where we are taught it, who we're taught it from, those really big overarching principles. I think it starts there. And racism is learned, right? It's passed down. If my parents and their parents were this way, this is how I am because this is what I know. That's what worked for me in my religion. When I was growing up, I thought the world was going to end every other week and everyone would be murdered and slaughtered because that's what I grew up believing. So you're taught these things. They're passed down. And if we can change that status quo, if we can create an exodus from the mental status quo that most people live by, I think so many of those things can be impacted. And you can do it directly, but we all know, and we've seen the person on the side of the road with the sign, and our mind initially goes, I would just want to help this person so badly. And your initial instinct is, let me just give them money. But that usually doesn't help the issue. Very rarely will. It's that time and that care and that education reform that I think is what is absolutely going to be the root cause for so much change that we want to see in the world. And I think that one aspect, the financial aspect of it, is something that is right now lacking, and almost everyone agrees with it. And if I can get on a big enough public platform and say, hey, everyone, you all agree that there's not enough education related to money or monetary fiscal policies, or what does fiscal even mean, or stocks, options, anything to do with equities, wealth generation is just simply not taught.
It isn't. It's interesting you talk about how even racism is taught. I was sitting next to a teacher yesterday, a first grade teacher, and this conversation came up. And she said, I have to actually explain to the kids in the class that are all different colors what racism is to even teach them why Martin Luther King mattered. He's part of our curriculum. And I was like, wow, that's so interesting, profound, and sad.
And terrifyingly sad. That's
terrifyingly sad.
Yeah.
But the concept of shifting it in schools. We may not be able to do a ton with everybody already there, but if we can stop it at its root, which is why we built everything that we built, it's heading it off at its root cause, not the topical treatment. I think it's very, very powerful. So I'm excited to see you get that out there. It's so interesting.
That. Yeah, because again, I think if enough people can get behind any movement, that's what can slowly create that change. I think a lot of people would agree that it's abhorrently not represented in school. It doesn't matter what school it is, what grade. We're not taught about finances in school. And it can be from the very basic, how to make more than you spend, all the way up to this is how you should invest. And just slowly getting that principle down at an early age. And hopefully that'll inspire and cause a passion that was caused in me. Because when I heard the phrase, we didn't have to worry about money anymore, I knew And then to see all the things that he did with that money, and he still doesn't have to worry about money anymore.
Bring that story back up.
Bring it back up. So Forrest Gump, 78% of the way through the film, he starts recounting his life and all the things that he's done. And again, if you guys need to watch this movie. Go back and check it out.
This is a movie that changed everything.
It was it.
Jeremy Newsom.
It was it. And I want to meet Tom Hanks and be like, hey, man, thank you for playing this character so well and just changing my life. But it was, as he's recounting the story, he says that Lieutenant Dan invested in a fruit company and they didn't have to worry about money anymore. And then he goes, good, one less thing.
I love that.
That was kind of like his reply. And so he goes,
Good.
so I went on to donate half of my earnings from Bubba Gump Shrimp to Bubba's mom. And they show her getting a check and just passing out. They didn't know how much it was, but it was tens of millions, I would assume. And then he showed him building a church and then a hospital and then like a kid's school. And then it shows him on his tractor cutting grass. Like it was like Snapper, lawn care tractor. And then Jenny comes back into his life. But that aspect is just showing all these things that he did with money. I'm like, I'm going to do that. I want to do that because that's true change. Is like you're really impacting communities and you're really helping. And he's doing it through just investing.
I love your approach because so many people are so afraid of money.
Yeah.
I grew up afraid of money, thinking it will turn you evil.
Yeah.
It will turn you into a bad person. So beware of money. And I hate that.
Yeah.
I love that immediately you understood it was an expansion tool for the things that you cared about.
Yep.
I did not understand that. And I think it's so interesting in the infrastructure of our minds, what we truly believe about money. If I could have shifted that earlier, I would have gone through not 5 years of self-sabotage.
Yeah.
Worried, even though I'm doing it, I'm making money, I'm sabotaging because I'm scared of what it can do to me.
Correct.
The frick.
And usually subconsciously. Right?
Yeah.
So you won't say that thing in your mind that you should know you should say, and you won't do that because you're like,
It'll make me bad.
I'm going to be greedy if I do that.
And it's not, people. Check your heart. Check your heart now because money will just
Amplify
expand.
who you are.
Absolutely. That's it.
Yeah. They'll amplify who you are. And that aspect of the challenge when you ask me, like that's what I'm thinking is I think I can have an impact on that because one of my gifts and one of the reasons I get so fired up about education is I'm a really good educator. It's one of my skills. I can take a very complex situation or topic and make it as simple as I can because I have a pretty simple mind. I'm very just yes, no, yes, no. Yeah. I'm very black and white. This is it. This is how it pieces together.
Yeah.
And so if I see it and it makes sense, I can expound on that and I can make it simpler for other people.
I love, too, that instead of trying to sound smart and use big words and make people lost and dependent on you by saying the big words that make them afraid and say, okay, just take my stuff, you explain it over and over again, which I think is an awesome grace to have.
Well, I appreciate it.
I love it. Yeah. It's a common denominator. All the billionaires that I've hung out with, the good ones, Branson, too, he's so humble. I'll literally sit in the room with him and people will get up and talk to him. And as soon as somebody stands up and starts trying to say words that the room won't understand, he literally just like, I'm not listening anymore. He's so obvious, like he's checked out. He's like, you have to keep it simple. He's like, don't overcomplicate it because you won't get nothing done except for feed your ego. And so I love it.
Do you want to be a billionaire?
Of course. You know how many people I can help as a billionaire?
Yeah.
Do I need
billions of them?
Do I need one more thing? No. I could have retired at 24, like early 24, and never had to work again. Ever. By myself, for myself, I had enough.
Yeah.
But when you realize how many people you can be the vessel to help and use money for great causes, people, ideas, movements, you can help so much and you can create opportunity for those who have none. So part of my vision is to build the bridge connecting the gap between the rich and the poor. And it's definitely going to be through education and opportunity. So I'm right there. I know I have the capacity to be a billionaire, but I remember the first day. I want to ask you this too.
Okay.
The first moment I realized I could be a billionaire. I was sitting in a room. I had won... What did I win?
This is true woke right here.
Yeah, this was a woke moment. It was, oh my God, Ernst & Young winning Women Award.
Okay, an accounting firm.
Yep, but they do all of
kinds
the
of
Entrepreneur of the Year.
Yeah.
They are the Entrepreneur of the Year award, and so this is like the women's division of the Entrepreneur of the Year award concept. And they made this award because they showed all these statistics. I'm going to do my best to remember them, but it's like 0.0001% of women ever breach 10 million in revenue. So it's like 0.01% of women in business, you have to even be in business, break $1 million, 0.01.
Yeah.
And then 0.0001 breach 10 million. And at 24, I was like at 15 million or something in revenue every year. And I was standing in orientation, and up on the stage are 5 women, all different colors, all older, and they were sharing their story. And I was like, la, 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 just listening and doodling the way I have to, multiple channel thinking over here.
Yep.
And they happened to all be billionaires, and I didn't know that. And then I was like, one was one of 11 children. Every single one of them had gone through hell. They all came from different places and different countries and different this and this and this and had the world of obstacles and no technology to help them. And I didn't understand that you need to see something like you to be able to believe it's possible for your life.
Yeah.
I didn't know that because all my mentors had always been men. I just didn't think about it.
That's a really good point.
It was the weirdest thing. And so whatever you are, I want you to know you're going to have a reach, like men listen to me, other people listen to me, but you still have a specific demographic. Because I was young and a woman, more young women would listen to me. And with that comes responsibility. So I recognized by listening to these women's stories and everything they overcame, there's no excuse to not be a billionaire.
Yeah.
That was so weird. And then I realized if you have the responsibility and the ability, if you just frickin' try in America at all, I'm not saying you'll be a billionaire, but if you actually just try and don't self-sabotage with your own thoughts, you can get so far. We are so blessed.
Yeah.
We can help so many people. And so it takes me back to that little girl, looking in her eyes, knowing she would never have a chance to get out of her situation. I recognized what's in front of me and said, I can put pieces together to help people who don't have the same opportunity. And that's the basis of all my companies.
Yeah.
Every single one is started and founded by some frustration I have with the world.
Yeah.
This is my way for overcoming it.
Where did the word Ariel come from?
Okay, real talk. I was praying and driving my car in Charlotte, North Carolina back when I lived there. And I'm at a stop sign, wasn't thinking about it at all. The name Ariel came to me. And I saw it spelled a very specific way. And I was like, okay, God, what was that? And he said, that's the name of your first child. And I was like, Went home, Googled it, and it meant to exist and create above the rest. So it was like really rooted in excellence. And it was about keeping the big picture in mind at all times, remembering what matters most. And then the third meaning was like Lion of Judah. And I was like, really interesting. And that was not the first name I called my company. We were Nashville Home Rescue.
No way.
Oh, yeah. We had a big lifesaver. We had the boards, a big lifesaver. And then everybody came in thinking that I was going to give them government assistance on their house. It didn't work out. But and then I had to make an LLC, and somebody's like, well, what do you need to name this? You need it now. And I was like, Ariel Investments, blah, blah, blah. So it actually took me a minute to stumble on what Ariel would become and be okay with that. Yeah. But I do tell people to have a name that wakes you up.
Agreed.
Every day.
Yeah, something you can stand behind.
Every day.
Yeah, my first company was going to be Traditi.
Oh.
Which means to trade in Latin, I believe. I believe.
Why'd you go away from that?
I had 40 good ideas. And somebody was asking me, I was talking to the guy, his name is Michael Clark. He also lives in North Carolina. Good friend of mine, insurance agent, just a good old country boy. Love this guy so much. He actually, he believes in me so much. I just love this guy. Anyway, he was asking me, what are you going to do with the company? Like, I'm confused. Like, you're going to give away education for free. How are you going to make money? Like, why are you doing this? And what I was doing is I was explaining to him. I was like, man, there's so many frauds out there. There are people who love to just, hey, you exist. I want your money. And here's this $8,000 course, and you should buy it. And I'll teach you how to make $1 million by Tuesday. Don't you want to make $1 million by Tuesday?
I mean, I was hoping by one day.
Tuesday I'll take it, right? So people are like, yeah, here's my money. And they don't get anything. And it's just a bunch of charlatans and people who aren't excited about the market and don't know much. And they're very good marketers. And so they sell their products. And then the stock market gets a bad name. Wall Street gets a bad name. People don't understand that it can be a source and a tool for anyone. So I was explaining to this, and I was like, man, I would just love this company, like a real company where people are just talking about, I don't know, life, and then like trading, and how life and trading can blend together because life is trading. I was like, and it would be phenomenal if it was just like this real life trading type of company. Those words actually came out of my mouth. And I was like, I wonder if that's available.
GoDaddy.
GoDaddy.com.
Yeah.
RealLifeTrading.com was available. I was like $9.99, done and done.
Shade.
Yeah, so snag that one.
Nice.
So that's kind of how that happened.
That's awesome.
Yeah, but yeah, that's kind of how that played out. And I was talking to Michael. He said, "Hey, great name. I like it." As soon as I said the name to him a few times, he's like, "I already know what that means.
Nice.
I get it. I understand it." And so then I started trying to come up with the logo, and the logo is genius. The whole company is genius. The first website was horrible.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I mean.
This website has to be horrible.
Yeah.
It's a part of the entry.
GeForce, right? Before any delays.
Yeah.
Do it badly. And I did it horrible. Everything was bad. All of it, website, everything. But people were like, I like the mission, man. I get it. I knew the mission.
Yeah.
To enrich lives. I knew I wanted to help people. I knew how I was going to help them and what I was going to help them about. And if you can do those three things, if you know why and what and kind of where, you can get people to follow you.
That's amazing.
So thanks for sharing your story with me too. That was really cool.
That's so good. I love it. This is great. What he's referencing is in GeForce, we have a mastermind, and we are constantly pushing everybody to do bad things, which means before any delays. So most people are not successful because they take the time, like they worry and they're so, normally, you know what? I think it's freaking ego. Or we're just so afraid of being publicly shamed, getting kicked out of the village of our own friends, of being a failure, that we have to have it so perfect we never do it.
That's it.
And so for you and I, we're like, yeah. For me, I think
it's a lifesaver.
I think for you, oh my gosh, mine was so horrible. But for you, I imagine this like confidence in your brain. Doesn't matter what it is, I can talk my way out of it.
Very true.
I literally think of your subconscious being like, you're fine.
Yeah.
Go.
Very accurate.
Go.
Just don't worry about it anyway.
Yeah.
I love it. We're going to talk more about how we go from there. Really good tactical questions. I want to go back to your billionaire story. I think that was phenomenal. I want to understand who some of those women were. Let's talk about that in the next episode.
Awesome. Thank you for watching From Broke to Woke with Britnie Turner and Jerremy Alexander Newsome. We have loved this journey with you. We want to help you go from broke to woke, understanding your purpose in life and really walking in the fullness of your potential. If you want to connect with us more, go to GeForceMastermind.com. You can come on vacations with us. You can connect with us as people. You can find more resources for learning. And if you want to follow us on Instagram, go to GeForce Mastermind. We'll see you there.